I just launched 20 AI agent skills for marketing that you can use on Claude Code and other similar AI assistants. And I'm going to show you exactly how to use them, right? So if you go to, this is my GitHub repository where I have the marketing agent skills. And these are the different skills I have built. One, I started with an agent skill builder, things that can work with you on go to market, positioning, performance marketing, SEO, product ideas, analytics, and a bunch of stuff, right? And there's also instructions on how you can actually clone my GitHub repo and install all of these cloud skills into your own local um, computer, right? So these are just all of the skills in files. Claude has a skills setup that uses like prompt instructions and knowledge files, kind of similar to how you will find it in like ChatGPT. So I have demoed something like this before, where I showed you all of my different like ChatGPT prompts and the knowledge files that go with them. So I have all of those prompts, and then I have a bunch of knowledge files that I have created, for a bunch of different things like growth marketing, product marketing, different marketing templates, and stuff like that. And if I show you my ChatGPT, for instance, you see I have a bunch of different projects here. I have like a performance marketing project. I have things for everything I basically do. I have something for AI workflows, creating videos like this, and then just creating distributions for them. I have a vibe coding assistant, a Clay GTM, a NA10 assistant, something even for OpenClaw. I have a coding assistant. I have a bunch of different things. The problem with this is that you cannot transfer all of these projects to ChatGPT from one ChatGPT account to the next without having to recreate all of this from scratch, right? So you have to upload all the project files and set up the project instructions like this. But with the agent skills framework, you only need to create the skills once, and any um, tool or agentic tool that kind of uses this framework is able to use your skills. So it's basically like using best practices from like leading practitioners or professionals in any particular use case that you find useful to you. So what I'm going to demo is how some of these my cloud skills are being used, right? So I'm actually going to start with like how I actually converted my different custom GPTs and project prompts into skills that you can use in Claude Code, right? So I'm going to open up my anti-gravity IDE, and I have a file that I want to convert. I have a prompt I want to convert, and it's this. Um, it's the marketing advantages and strategy framework that I developed that helps you to know what channels work for your product, right? So you're supposed to be doing product-led growth. What kind of product you have? What channel you should be looking at, right? So I've downloaded this um, into my folder, right? So this is my marketing advantages and strategy template, and in Claude, the plus with Claude is that Claude doesn't just tell you what to do; it actually does it for you, right? As opposed to like general LLMs like ChatGPT and the likes, right? So what I'm going to do now is I've already prepared something here. So I'm telling Claude that I have a playbook in my downloads folder that can help you to determine your marketing advantages and strategy, and I want it to convert it to a Claude skill, right? So it's going to invoke my agent skill builder here, which is like it has a skill.md file, and it has like references like how you actually create a agent skill via Claude Code, and it's going to work on this, on its own, right? So it's going to find the CSV file. Um, so I'm currently using. You can change the mode of Claude in your IDE, or if you're using Terminal directly, right? You can actually use Terminal for something like this. And if I was going to use Terminal, I would, open Claude Code in my terminal, and I can say, so I usually start with the Claude, dangerously skip permissions, you know, and it will start Claude, and it doesn't need to ask me for permissions like it's doing in the IDE. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to move this to bypass permissions. It's similar to what is happening in the terminal, right? It's on bypass permission mode. So I could possibly do something else from the terminal here. So just to run simultaneously, and not waste too much time on this demo, is whereas I'm converting the marketing advantages into a particular skill that's going to be added to my GitHub repo. So once this is done, it's going to add it to this repo, and this is going to become 21. That's if I've done the prompting very well. So let's go back to anti-gravity. The second thing is, so what I want to do is that a lot of marketers, at the moment do not understand the capabilities and the advantages of actually using Claude Code as opposed to just using like ChatGPT or Gemini, right? So I want to position Claude Code as a marketer's AI tool versus ChatGPT, Gemini, and Cursor. So what I'm going to do is on my terminal now, I'm going to run another prompt and say, so no, this is not what I want to do. So I'm going to cancel. You can actually run stuff in parallel. So I could actually go and use another IDE that's like Visual Studio Code, instead of using the terminal, because this is kind of like wasting my time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open VS Studio Code, and I am the going to run another prompt there. So this is VS Studio Code is similar to anti-gravity, and I'm going to do bypass permissions because I don't want it to waste time, and I'm going to say position Claude Code. So I'm going to give it a prompt to invoke my product positioning skill, right? So while this is working, let me go back to anti-gravity, and now it says it has it has created a new skill for me, and that is marketing advantages here, right? And this is the skill.md file. Let me see if it actually updated GitHub with the skill, or I will need to like commit and push. So I'm going to say, I'm going to go back here and say, um, add this skill to marketing agent skills, commit and push to GitHub. So the thing is that it's going to generate the positioning as markdown, and I will have to tell it to give me outputs in another document format like PDF or um, docx or something like that. So for now, I'm going to ask for output in PDF. Now the thing about Claude is you don't need to even wait for it to finish what it's doing before you give it another instruction to continue, right? So I'm gonna go back to VS Code. Okay, we're in VS Code now. Anti-gravity is currently trying to update my GitHub repo. Let's see what's happening here. So this is currently saying uh, 20 AI agent skills. It has added the marketing advantages skill, and it's supposed to update in the README as well. When this is done, all right. So it says that's pushed to GitHub, updated um, the Claude, the MD marketing agent skills is now 21. I'm gonna tell it to update the README as well because I don't think that actually pushed. You know. Right now, let's go back to VS Code. VS Code is currently the task here is to create, the PDF of the positioning framework for Cloud Code in PDF, right? And anti-gravity is currently working on my GitHub repo. So let's see if my GitHub repo is now updated with the, to say now, right? This has changed to 21 agent skills, and it has marketing advantages here, right? So there's one more thing that needs to be updated. Actually, I have I had an instruction in my Claude.md file, which is like the master prompt, that whenever I make updates to all of this, it needs to also update every part of the repo. So what I'm just going to use voice. Claude, you have instructions in your Claude.md file to update multiple places, files, and in the repo as well for GitHub. Whenever I add a new skill or I update a skill, right? All right. So this has interrupted my voice prompt. But I mean, Claude, you have instructions in your Claude MD file to update multiple places or multiple locations in the GitHub repo, as well as locally whenever I add a new skill or update a skill. So it's going to probably invoke that instruction. And yes, so it did give me the positioning, Cloud Code positioning framework, right? So this is it. Um, for marketing, so this is like my templates, anyways, for marketing operators and GTM teams that need to update, do complex marketing workflows. Cloud Code is an AI powered assistant that does blah, 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 blah. So these are customers that care, the use cases, the pain points and problems, the offering that Cloud Code gives, what is the marketing category, what's the competitive analysis. So it compares Claude with other like tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, Cursor, and it tells you what Claude does better than all of them, and how to position it. So this is positioning for Cloud Code, and this has been saved in I think in my documents folder, right? So Cloud Code positioning. So the next thing I'm going to do is that GitHub. Yes, do this. I'm going to go back to VS Code and okay, and tell it to do something next. So we've created the positioning for Cloud Code. Now I'm going to activate a product launch plan for the Cloud Code that we just Cloud Code positioning we just did. So I'm going to drop this prompt for product launch, go to market, right? And it's going to be doing that whilst I go and look at something else. Okay, so Let's see if my GitHub repo is now looking like what I want it to. Probably there's still something here that is the about section for GitHub that did not change. So I'm going to go back and say, hey Claude, to match the number of skills in the repo. Updates. So let me just say, update your instructions to do this every time a new skill is created or updated on GitHub. So whilst that is working, let's see the launch plan that um, Cloud Code is going to give me for Cloud Code for marketers, right? So it's done with the plan. This is saying that, so there's a bunch of stuff that goes into like product launch, right? So it has asked a bunch of questions first to qualify what kind of launch it is. Is this going to change customer behavior or capability? Yes. Is this differentiated? Yes. Stuff like that. Launch sizing, customer impact versus market innovation. It kind of does a graph here. The launch priority, and then you need to do some internal alignment. So it's like a checklist of to dos you need to do before you launch a product, target audience, the GTM channels we can use: email, LinkedIn, Twitter, product hunts, paid social content, webinar, partner campaign, events, PR, etc. Right, and everything we need here. So this is the launch plan for Cloud Code for marketers, right? So does this deserve a launch? What is the launch size? Internal alignment checklist. You can actually create this in docx as well. If you don't want like a hard coded PDF that you cannot edit, right? So this is um, the launch plan, right? We're going to proceed from this. So one thing to be mindful of is that Claude Code has context windows, right? So if I put in too many prompts in this chat, it might start to forget information and it needs to like loop and circle back. So I'm going to go to landing page. I could clear this conversation, but I'm just gonna, you know, YOLO it and say, hey, let's do a landing page for Claude Code with the instructions. So it's gonna use the landing page um, skill that I have here to create a landing page, right? So let's go to Gravity and see what's going on, right? So let's see. Does this change to 21 agent skills for marketers? It actually did not. Let's go back. Use the GitHub CLI prompt for me. Do everything. Just make sure that this gets done. So Claude is going to solve all problems that it encounters each and every time. I think I set up the GitHub CLI on a different IDE, which is VS Code and not anti-gravity. That's why this is getting stuck here. And now Claude is also still creating a landing page for Claude Code for marketers, right? Which is our product of today. And one more thing we're also going to do is like look at other marketing ideas for different parts of like the growth funnel for Cloud Code, right? So GitHub says GitHub has been updated. So let me see if that is true. Yes, that is true. So this has been updated. I mean, I could manually do this or use like the terminal myself, but why do that when I have Claude, right? So this is great. We've created a new skill on GitHub, which is marketing advantages. This is the skill instruction. So it tells it tells Claude when to use the skill, when to invoke the skill, how it works, different marketing advantages. It has them listed here for each product, right? It even gives me like credits, like framework by James by Marketing Action. Going back to the skill, it has like Marketing Advantage has a skill.md. It doesn't have reference files. Some other skills do have reference files, but because I did not provide a reference file for this one, then it doesn't have. So let's go back to see what's going on in the anti-gravity and stuff. Now I have the design information. Let's create a comprehensive landing page. So whilst that is happening, I just wanted to show you that I do have all of my skills locally. So this is the marketing advantages skill I just created, and this syncs to GitHub because this is my marketing agent skills repo. And then I do have like additional stuff like my Claude MD, which is a README file for how Claude should behave whenever I ask it some instructions. So I think I also need to updates. Okay, so this is the website for the landing page for Claude for marketers that I just created with the prompts, and it uses the styling from the Claude websites. So this is saying that this is built for marketing operators. Stop waiting for engineering. Shape marketing systems today. Claude Code is the AI coding assistant that helps marketers build landing pages, do that, blah, 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 blah. Start building for free. Watch a demo. 57 marketing skills faster. I mean, it even shows like this like kind of terminal view of how Claude Code works. You know, this is excellent. Marketing has a delivery problem. You know what to build, but you just can't build it fast enough. The old way with Claude Code, waiting for bandwidth, shipping the same day, build for how marketers actually work. This is great. And it's just one shot prompt that I did this. Marketing skills ready to invoke from idea to deployed in 4 steps, and I can actually update this landing page based on whatever changes I want to make. I also need to give credit that I do have a bunch of more skills here that I actually downloaded from other repositories, like some of the N10 skills here and some of the marketing stuff, right? So this is great. This is great. All right. The last thing I'm going to do now is, we already have our landing pages to come up with like some experiments for marketing and product that we could also run if we're, doing this product launch. So I'm going to say that it should give me the top five, top of funnel awareness experiments or strategies we could run for Cloud Code for marketers, and then experiments we could run in the product, like from trial to paid for Cloud Code. And it's going to do all of that right now. So that is, yeah, and if this is done, you'll get everything, and all of this is, um, available in my marketing agent skills repo on GitHub. You can follow the instructions to download it, clone it to your local repo. You could do whatever you want to do with it. The instructions on how to use it. If you also want to use it for Claude Code on the web or Claude app, you can actually go to your skill, your settings, um, and then look at capabilities, and there's skills, right? So you could add skills, but you need to upload the skills as like maybe zip or MD. So I can go here and look at like my skills, marketing advantages, and I would upload this to use it on the Cloud Code like desktop app or Cloud on the web, right? But I prefer to work with like my IDs and terminal for anything that has to do with Cloud Code, because it gets more done. You can access all your files and folders, you can create stuff, you can edit stuff, it does a whole bunch of stuff, right? So let's, see how this completes. Working on creating the PDF at the moment. That's what's here. Just quickly, I mean, there's so many skills here that I have. This is like 57 skills or more. Skills for everything you can think of, from copywriting to competitor analysis to working with Clay for go to market outbound. I couldn't demo that, but if you download this repo and this cloud skills, you could definitely use that for your own use cases for emails, conversion rate optimization, defining your ICPs and personas, landing pages, product launch strategies, go to market. If you want to even like craft a press release, there's something there for you. SEO, um, vibe coding as well, right? Even though you already have Cloud Code for vibe coding, but if you wanted to just like get concepts, frameworks, best practices around vibe coding, you could use some of this prompts, and they invoke whenever the um, there's like you meet the threshold for them. So I want to ask Claude, if have we updated my README files everywhere to include the new skills that I just built, and every other places that need to be updated. All right. I always get interrupted by Claude. So these are some growth experiments that we could use for you know the product. So for top of funnel awareness, right? We can do marketing workflow template gallery. And it uses best practices in marketing for this experiment. You can do a build with Cloud Code Showcase. That's an experiment. It gives us like the experiment, the why it works, the rationale, the success metrics. We could do a free marketing diagnostic tool. We could do community content in marketing watering holes. We could do a bunch of stuff. This is for awareness, getting people to the top of funnel, which is like awareness and acquisition. And then when we want to do like conversion, trial to paid conversion, what could we do? Marketing specific onboarding, what you build, upgrade prompts, skill based usage limits. And these are just excellent ideas, if you, and it grades and classifies everything according to how valuable they are, right? So, yeah, it is made updates everywhere in my folders, like my skills, marketing advantages, in my Cloud skills documentation, marketing agent skills, Cloud MD. everything is in sync. Um, all right, so we're good to go. Thank you so much for watching this. If you want to get access to the skills, you'll find the information on how to download my repo and just